Okay, let's crack these bad boys open. This one's gonna need probably a lot of sanding, I would think. It didn't line up nearly as well as I would have liked. But it's not terrible. There's a lot of glue spill out on this one too. Cooperating because I was kind of glued to the board. Let's set that down. Okay, as you can see, there's a lot of unevenness. There's a lot of glue spill out. This side's actually pretty, for the most part, fairly even, so my pieces just weren't all quite the same size. Interesting. So this one will be the easiest one to finish. We're just gonna have to get all this glue off of here. I'll probably just use I might use the belt sander maybe, or just the random orbit sander with a really low grit paper on it to waste for the glue, because the glue will like kill the paper. And then we'll have to do many coats of sanding on this one. I gotta get a round over bit. I think we'll just sand this one. I don't really. We could trim it with the saw, but I don't know that we need to. We'll see. We might just trim it with the saw while we're at it. Let me take a look at the other one. Let's get the other one out. Alright, now this one definitely needs trimmed on the saw. I can already see some problems that we're going to run into. I can see some little gaps. That's probably caused by my pieces of walnut not all being exactly the same size. It's almost certainly caused by that. What we're going to do is we're going to trim this guy, and we're going to have to take these edges here down, which is going to be difficult, but I bought something for this. I bought a new plane. This is a low angle block plane. I may need to sharpen it, but let's just... Okay, so maybe we'll do this before we trim it off, because I'm worried that that tear out is going to keep happening. Like that, yeah. We are trimming end grain here, which is not ideal. Let's see if I can do any of these other ones without... Yeah, it keeps tearing out the corners, which tells me that we're probably not sharp enough. So we may have to do this all with sanding. But what we're going to do is, since we may take a piece of our scrap walnut. We got some cracks because of the wood. Take a piece of our scrap walnut and just sand the crap out of it. And then we can take anywhere where there's a hole or whatever, rub some glue in it and then rub the sawdust in it. Yeah, but we got a lot to do. We got to trim this, probably trim the other one, and let's get started. Okay, we trimmed up this one. I decided just to sand the edges of the other one. We're gonna go at this with, I've got a 80 grit disc on here, and we're gonna do what we can. It's working, it's just really very slow. So that is what it is. Let's keep at it. Okay, I gave this a little try. It actually is a little bit faster and it's easier. So let's do this. Okay, still have a ways to go. I think the rest of this needs to be done with the hand sander. Though I do have a hand belt sander here somewhere, but I don't know that I want to use it because I'm afraid that it will eat too much off. But maybe I'll try setting that up and we'll give that a try next. Okay, so this is working a lot better. We're almost smooth. There's a lot of waves because of the belt sander. And actually this side's getting a little thinner than the other side. There's still a pretty big like lip right here, so I've got to go until we get that out, and then see how off our thickness is, and well, and I'll probably have to hit this other side some more. There's a little bit right here too. Let's keep going. Okay, I switched to the orbital sander because the belt is slipping on the belt sander. This side is definitely thinner than this side, and I really need to use the belt sander here. So I guess I've got to get the belt back on there and run it over this side fairly, have focus on this side, specifically right here. You can still kind of see, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but you can see that there's glue here, which means I haven't gotten low enough to get to the glue, but that's the only spot that there's glue left. Like I said, this side is ending up a little bit thinner than this side, I think. But maybe not until I am done with the belt sander. Then we got to do the other side, and I know there's a lot of material to remove on the other side yet too. Okay, I shredded a belt in there, but it's alright. I had to go to the store and get a new one. Let's flip this over. It's not horrible. Let's flip this over and see what we got to do on this side. I'm sure it's plenty. Yeah, we got quite a lot to do on this side, so let's keep at it. Okay, we're getting there. There's a little ways to go yet. Camera battery's almost dead though, so I'm gonna stop recording here for the moment and figure out how to actually just plug the camera in so we can keep going. Okay, we're looking pretty good here. I think we're actually good with the belt sander. Now before we sand any further, actually there's still a little bit of a lip here, but we'll deal with that later. Before we sand any further, I want to fill in these gaps. So what we're going to do, we'll start on this side. Anywhere there's a little gap, we're going to put some wood glue and then we're going to smear it in. Okay, and then wipe the glue off my finger. I've got this sawdust here. We're gonna mash that down into the gaps. We'll have to sand this off again, but we're going to sand this several more times anyways. Okay. Try and save as much of that as I can. Flip her over. Okay, now same thing. Mash it down in there. Just dab up the excess here. And then just rub it down in. Okay, that pretty much takes care of everything. It's looking pretty good. I need to get a round over bit, I think, if we're going to round it over. And I think I need to square the whole thing up. Let me grab a square. My handy dandy rusty. So yeah, that's not square. That's not really square either. Yeah, basically this whole thing is not square. Which is kind of unfortunate, but it might have to be what it is. I'm probably going to keep this one for myself. I might sell or give away the other one, because I think the other one's... This one's got the most intricate pattern, but the other one I think will actually be a nicer cutting board. But we'll see once they're done. So, I need a round over bit. I'm not going to do the sanding for the other one on camera because you've seen me sand this one a million times now, and that's it's the same thing. So we'll come back when it's time to, well, the next step is either to square it up or to round over the corners. If we're not going to square it up. But I think we're probably going to square it up.